So you're stuck real bad, but don't be sad. Mark is here to help you escape from ALEKS. There's gonna be some yummy pie filling.
Well, hi, everybody. Hi, Mike here. Welcome to my new series, Escape from ALEKS. I know a lot of my students that I've taught and tutored endure the ALEKS and the pie thing and the modules assignments thing. And I chose as my first topic the one that, in my experience, makes my students most want to stick their head right in the microwave. And that is this one, gang. This is interconverting compound SI units. So complete the conversion of the following measurement by entering the missing number. So we're going to convert these compound units, which means there's like three different kinds of units there. One of the kinds of units is actually the same, seconds squared. And then we've got kilograms that need to be converted to grams. We got meters squared that need to be converted to centimeters squared. Now, what I'm going to do, just to make this a little clearer, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to rewrite this because I'm going to scribble on what's going to happen. So let's just go ahead and rewrite this. It's a very small number. We got 1.2 times 10 to the minus 8. And now don't worry about trying to figure out what the outcome is going to be. You need to really protect your mind by compartmentalizing this. Okay, gang? Like, you're going to have to break this into smaller pieces. Okay, so here's these units. What we're going to do is we're going to concentrate on just one thing at a time. Now, the first thing we need to concentrate on is that I don't have to do doodly squat with seconds squared because it's the same on both sides. So basically, we're going to end up just ignoring that. So what I have to do is I have to decide, am I going to convert kilograms to grams, or am I going to convert meters squared to centimeters squared? And I like to start with what's easier so you can kind of get lubricated as you go along. So what we're going to do here is we're going to convert kilograms to grams, but we're going to do it using powers of 10. I know everybody hates powers of 10, but trust me, this is going to bail you out. If you do it this way, there'll be a little bit of memory work up front, but it'll be easier. I promise you. So let's go make some conversion factors over here on the side. So what I'm going to do is, in power of 10 speak, I'm going to say how many kilograms. Let's go say 1 kilogram equals. Now, this is where you have to do the memory. Kilo means 10 to the 3, right? So you're going to say 1 kilogram is 10 to the 3 grams. And I know you could do 1,000, but counting zeros is dangerous. Trust me on this. The other way I could say this is that there are 10 to the minus 3 kilograms in 1 gram. And this is saying the exact same thing, gang. This is saying that a kilogram is 1,000 grams, or 1 gram is 1,000th of a kilogram, but we're doing it in powers 10. And here's why I'm doing it in powers of 10. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do this conversion down here. I'm going to go ahead and do the little whole numerator thing, and I'm going to cancel units of kilograms by dividing kilograms by kilograms. But more importantly, I like my ones in the denominator because I find it easier to multiply powers of 10 than it is to subtract them. I think I get things jacked up when I subtract. It's just the way my mind works. Maybe your mind works the same way. So therefore, out of these two conversion factors, both of which say the same thing in different ways, I'm going to take the one where there's a 1 by kilograms, okay? And I'm going to just take the 10 to the third grams, and I'm going to put that on top. And now, when I'm done, and you know what? This is the thing. I'm going to rewrite this, and I'm going to now do that multiplication. And this is why I like my 1 on the bottom. I just have to add the powers of 10. Think about this. If I'd have done like a 0.001 on the bottom of the denominator instead of powers of 10, I would have to then make sure I count zeros correct. That's dangerous. Okay. Counting zeros, like you want to call a nanogram a 0.0000. I got bored of doing the counting there, 8 zeros. So this is why powers of 10 are kind of powerful, because now what you're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to go, oh, okay, when I multiply powers of 10, they add. And so the net outcome is going to be a number that's 1.2 times 10 to the minus 8 plus positive 3, and that's going to be minus 5. What are the new units? I'm going to go ahead and make a scribble here that like I now have converted out of kilograms. And now I have converted them to units of grams. So what is this going to be? Not going to be done yet because we got to take care of the whole centimeter squared, meter squared thing. But this is now going to be the number of grams per centimeter or per meter squared, excuse me, grams per meter squared per second squared. Remember, we're not doing anything with second squared because it's the same on both sides per second squared. Not done yet. A step of it's done. All right. But what we're going to do now is we're going to take care of this whole meter squared, centimeter squared business. So let me go and rewrite this. And we're going to go ahead and, finish this problem by doing the next step. And so I know just, it's part of my kind of OCD-ness that I want to go and write this all over again so that we can make sure we cross out the correct units. All right. So grams times meter squared. The meter squared is a problem because they want centimeters squared per second squared, which is not a problem because it's the same on both sides. So there you go. Now let's go and convert meter squared to centimeter squared. And you say, oh, just multiply by 100. No, you got to multiply by 100 squared as it turns out. But I have a trick that keeps me honest. Let me go. This was so last step ago. So I'm going to go and I'm going to erase that. I'm going to go say the conversion factor between meters and centimeters. So 1 meter. And then why ain't I doing squared? Well, I'll show you an option where if you want to do, if you want to do meter squared to centimeter squared, I'll show you how to do that too. But this is kind of foolproof. Okay. 1 meter is 100 centimeters, right? Now, this is where you have to memorize that means 10 to the 2, 100, 10 times 10 centimeters. There's one conversion factor. Or if I wanted to, I could say there's 10 to the minus 2 or 100th or 0.01 of a meter in 1 centimeter. Guess which one Mike's going to pick? The one that lets me put the 1 in the denominator because I like multiplying powers of 10 more than I like, dividing. So, okay, what am I going to do? What needs to go down here? I need to have meters be canceled. Now, okay, I'll show you. Hey, how come I'm not doing meters squared? We can do that later, but I'm going to do this conversion factor twice. Matter of fact, let me go and I'll do this without even putting any numbers in, huh? So if I go here and do this twice, centimeters, now what's on the denominator? Meters and then another meter. So that's actually meters times meters, which is what a meter squared is. And then I'm going to pick the one that's easy, where I go ahead and I use the one where I can put the 1 in the denominator. I'm going to do it twice. So without thinking, because thinking is dangerous, just letting the units guide me. I'm just like, hey, units, it's scary. We're in this dark cave and there's bats all over, but hold my hand and make me put the right numbers in. I know that I'm putting, and then you might want to look at this. Does that make sense? 1 meter is 10 to the 2 centimeters. Heck yeah, it does. And now after I'm done with this, I will have converted from meters squared, which is meters times meters, to the surviving units will be centimeters squared. So the resulting units will now be what the problem wants. Grams times centimeters squared in the numerator divided by seconds squared, which we never had to do anything with because that was the part of the problem that was being nice and friendly, seconds squared. And now we just need to find out what the number is. And that number is going to be what happens when I take 10 to the minus 5 times 10 to the 2 times 10 to the 2. So all of these add. So that's minus 5 plus 2 is minus 1. 1.2 times 10 to the minus 1. And that is my answer. All right, gang? Could you write that a different way? Sure. That is really, in regular speak, 0.12 for normies. But here's what I've seen. I've seen instructors like myself and ALEKS say, put this in scientific notation. We demand you. And I know, trust me, this is not some person on the other end just looking at like, oh, hey, Brittany did it right. Yay for her. No, this is all just looking for strings of characters. And notice that they give you here the option to put that in scientific notation. And so, you could leave it like that. You don't have to there's no hero points for putting it as 0.12. You're just kind of taking a risk of what you put in the box ain't going to be right. And then you're going to go backwards and have to do this 3 times in a row instead of 2 more times in a row. To the contingent of people who say, I don't like the extra step, I want to make it 1 step. Cool. Not my style. Everybody has different styles. Just go ahead and square this. What happens then? What happens is I got 1 meter squared is going to be 10 to the 2 times 10 to the 2, or 10 to the 4 centimeters squared. And now you can go, and I'm sloppily writing it, not on purpose, but then now you could make that all, but that's what happened here. That would be that was just 1 step. All right. So you got to do this 3 times in a row, unless it's one of those dreaded knowledge checks. Why don't we try another one? Okay. So let's just kind of erase here. All right. Take a screenshot of that if you want, but boom, let's go to my secret instructor mode here. Allows me to do show another. Okay. Show another, please. Yeah. Oh, okay. Let's do this one. Kind of the same sort of thing, but this now we got moles. Notice moles is the same on both sides. And so we can, just ignore that. You might be at this stage of the semester, you might be, what the heck is a mole, or what's a mole? Because if you abbreviate units of moles by taking the E off, you save like 17 seconds every semester. That's the abbreviation of mole is mo. So then you go and you take the number here. That's what I'm doing. This is just my style of doing things. Moles divided by kilograms. It's kind of funny. I don't even know where this even comes into play, like what subject this would come into play. But hey, play along. They want this in moles, meaning we're not going to change that. We're going to change just what's in the denominator, which is kind of scary because it's in the denominator, but it doesn't matter. And why don't we do like we did last time? Let's convert kilograms to grams and write some conversion factors. 1 kilogram is, now this is where if this flows very well for you, it's to your advantage, right? If you say, okay, 1 kilogram is 10 to the 3 grams, you could say that there's 10 to the minus 3 kilograms in 1 gram. And guess what? I'm putting the one, for me, my style of things is I'm putting the one that has a 1 in the denominator. And I don't even know which one that is yet, because I protect my mind from these things. I don't look over here. I look over here and I barf this out. I barf out how many kilograms are in a gram, how many, both ways. And then what happens is that really kind of is very pleasing, actually, or very soothing, because you're kind of like, I ain't going to look over there. It's too intimidating. It's like if you're climbing a mountain, you don't want to look down, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of kilograms by putting kilograms in the numerator and then grams down here. And I'm going to put a 1 there because that's what I want to do. Now, which conversion factor did I end up using? I ended up using this one. I could use the 1 on top there, but I don't want to divide by 10 to the 3 and put a 1 up there. I want to divide by a 1 and put 10 to the minus 3. Now, okay, so for you consolidators out there, I'm going to make this a 1-stepper. But what I've done so far is I have gotten rid of, I don't like what I just did there. I made the -3 yellow. I was getting excited there. I want to make that visible. What we're going to do is for you, make the text. For you folks who want to save some steps, I'll take care of you in just a second. Okay, we're gonna string this all out as a big one multi-stepper. Okay, but right now let's keep track of what we did. I just converted from kilograms to grams. Now you pay, hey, it's not in the numerator. No, it's not supposed to be in the numerator. It's supposed to be in the denominator, right? So just, blinders, right? Now let's convert from meters squared to centimeters squared. I got some more room now. 1 meter equals, and this is the problem with ALEKS. Actually, it's a good thing though. Is it'll repeat the tasks. I mean, this is virtually the same kind-ish task as the last one where we had to do something with centimeters squared and meters squared, So there's a thing that's truth. 1 meter is 10 to the 2 or 100 centimeters. And then I could say 10 to the minus 2 meters equals 1 centimeter. They're both saying the same thing. 1 meter is 100 centimeters. 100th of a meter is 1 centimeter. And I'm going to go and I'm going to line these units up. I'm going to put a meter here. I'm going to do it centimeters down here. Remember, you could do the square thing if you want. I'm just not showing that today, or maybe ever, because this is the way I like to, And if this was like volume where it was meters cubed, you'd do this 3 times. This is area to area, right? Then guess what? 1 right there, 1 right there. Which conversion factor am I going to use? The one where there's a 1 in front of centimeters, right there. And then I'm going to go ahead and put 10 to the minus 2. This is going to be exciting. We're going to have like a lot of negatives. Well, you got to look at it. Did we convert something? No, don't, never mind. I'm not going to say anything there. Sometimes you could say too much, like you just want to suck the words back into your mouth because it makes it more complicated. But you will notice that what happened here is I have converted from meters squared, right? Meters squared is meters times meters. If you wanted to, you could put meters times meters in there. And now it's centimeters times centimeters. So at the result of this is this number will have units like we wanted of moles per the ones I didn't cross out, right? Per gram per centimeter squared. You could put times centimeters, but now does that match what's up there? Yes. The only thing I need now is a number. So let's go get that. 10 to the positive 7 plus negative 3 plus negative. Oh, geez. This is funny. ALEKS, congratulations on making it awkward, but this is okay. This is a good thing. 9.9. The result will be 9.9 times 10 to the positive 7 plus negative 3, negative 2, and negative 2. It's negative 7. Positive 7 plus negative 7 is times 10 to the 0. What does that mean? That means 9.9 because 10 to the 0 is 1. So the answer is 9.9. Now, I'm telling you, I hope that whoever's in that cubicle writing what the answer sort of tolerances are will allow you to put in 9.9 times 10 to the 0 in scientific notation. If not, then you get on customer support and go tell them. But maybe in this case, I would actually switch it to 9.9. And then that would put that in. And that nervous feeling when you put it in the box and then you hit, submit and you want to see the little slider go over. But that will be either one of these, folks. I've been doing this for over 3 decades. Either one of these is the correct answer. And I very highly trust that ALEKS will accepted. So, cool. That's it. You do it a third time, and then you're done with this, and you can move on with your life. Now, I do want to say that if you have any other issues, please just drop a comment and let me know. Anything else you want? I've already got a bunch of topics. I'm like, these are the ones that made people want to show up to my house with pitchforks and torches. So I'm going to get through that. But if you have another topic, drop it in the comment. Go and subscribe. Smash the like. Don't smash the like button. That just gently press the like button. Okay, no need to smash it. All right. See you in the next one, and adios.